Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine, just for a second, years down the line, you're talking to your great-granddaughter, and she asks about this digital world, the one you helped build. What do you tell her?
Yeah, what's the story?
Exactly. Was it a world built first and foremost on absolute safety, resilience above all? Or was it one constantly pushing the boundaries of speed, innovation, efficiency?
It's a powerful way to think about it.
It really is. And look, this isn't just some philosophical thought experiment. It's not hypothetical. It's right here, right now, at the heart of, well, probably one of the biggest debates in crypto today. Bitcoin versus Ethereum.
Absolutely. It's fundamental.
So our mission with this deep dive for you is to really explore this choice, this fork in the road. And it's framed so well by Jack Dorsey, a huge figure in this space.
Definitely influential.
We want to get beyond just the tech specs, the market caps, all that surface level stuff. We need to understand the deeper implications. For technology, sure, but also for investing and honestly for the kind of digital future we're actually creating.
For generations, like you said.
Exactly. And we've got a good stack of sources here. We're looking at analysis from places like A-Invest, financial perspectives from Yahoo Finance. And they all kind of point to the same thing. This isn't just code versus code.
No, it's much more than that.
It's a clash of values, really. Foundational values for this whole decentralized thing we're building.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating, I think, is how often this debate gets framed purely technically. All jargon and price charts.
Right.
You lose the big picture.
Totally. But when you step back, you see it's really about core principles. It forces us all, you included, to think not just about what these technologies do. Like, okay, this one sends money, this one runs apps,
right,
but why they actually matter. What kind of future are they trying to enable? And that boils down to a really key question, I think. What actually defines value in this new decentralized world?
Good question.
Is it that absolute commitment to security, to being unchangeable, that bedrock of trust? Or is it more about utility, speed, constant innovation, that dynamic, programmable future? They sound almost like opposites when you put it that way.
They represent very different priorities, for sure. Competing visions, really.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. Jack Dorsey, we mentioned him. He's got his fingers in so many pies, social media, payments, and he's deep into crypto.
He definitely has opinions.
Yeah.
Strong ones.
And he just cuts right through all the noise, He takes this Bitcoin versus Ethereum thing and he doesn't frame it as like which tech is better on paper.
Oh, he elevates it.
He elevates it completely. He makes it about a choice we're making for the future.
Right.
For generations. It's about fundamental values. And he puts it so directly, almost poetically. What world do you want your great-granddaughter to live in?
Powerful framing.
One that is safe or one that is fast? Wow. I mean, that forces you to think long-term, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not just about next quarter's gains.
Absolutely. It moves it way beyond just a tech comparison. It becomes architectural philosophy almost. Because it highlights these two really distinct strategic visions. For the internet, for finance, maybe even for how society organizes itself digitally in the future.
Okay, break that down. What are the two visions?
So on one side, you've got Bitcoin, in Dorsey's view, and for many others, Bitcoin is the bedrock. It's digital gold, sure, but maybe more importantly, it's a trust-minimized foundation.
Trust minimized, meaning?
You need the absolute minimum trust in any person or company for it to work securely. Its whole reason for being is stability. Censorship resistance, nobody can stop your transaction, nobody can change the past. Immutability.
Unchangeable, like set in stone.
Exactly. It's designed to be this neutral global ledger that just is. Like the base protocols of the internet itself, TCP/IP, they just work neutrally. Bitcoin aims for that, but for money.
Okay, the safe option, the foundation.
That's the idea. Then you have Ethereum.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different ambition.
Right.
It's not just a ledger. Think of it more like a global decentralized computer. It's programmable. It's built for high throughput. It's geared for rapid innovation. Utility.
The fast option, in Dorsey's terms.
Pretty much. And Dorsey's framing forces us to think critically about this split. To look beyond just, which one did more transactions today, and instead consider the philosophies behind them, the trade-offs they each make. What are they trying to achieve long-term? The why becomes as important as the what.
So applying that why lens, what does it tell us about Bitcoin specifically, from Dorsey's angle and others who agree?
Well, for them, Bitcoin is fundamentally about financial sovereignty.
Okay. Control over your own money.
Exactly. Giving power back to the individual. free from, central banks potentially inflating it away, or commercial banks freezing your account, or governments dictating terms.
Building that digital gold standard you mentioned, robust, unalterable.
That's the core value proposition. Maximum decentralization, maximum security. Those are the absolute top priorities. Everything else is secondary.
And this isn't just talk, right? It's baked into how it works.
Completely. It's been Bitcoin's identity for, over a decade now? It's positioned as the ultimate hedge against inflation, economic uncertainty, maybe even against declining trust in traditional institutions.
Yeah, you hear that a lot, the digital safe haven idea.
Right. In a world that feels increasingly unpredictable, Dorsey's conviction is that Bitcoin provides this foundational stability, this individual empowerment. It's infrastructure that belongs to everyone, so it belongs to no one entity.
Okay, so that commitment to security and decentralization, how is it technically achieved? You said it's engineered in.
It absolutely is. It comes down to its consensus mechanism, proof of work, POW.
Right, the mining process.
Exactly. You have this global network of miners, powerful computers, all competing. They're solving these incredibly hard cryptographic puzzles.
Like a race.
A very energy-intensive race. The winner gets to add the next block of transactions to the chain and gets rewarded with new Bitcoin. Now, that energy use gets a lot of criticism.
For sure. The environmental impact discussion.
Right. But from this safety-first perspective, the energy cost isn't a bug. It's a feature. It's what makes the network so incredibly resistant to attack or censorship.
How so?
Because the sheer cost in terms of hardware, electricity, computational power to try and corrupt the Bitcoin network, to try and control 51% of the mining power, is astronomical. It's prohibitively expensive for almost anyone.
But the energy secures the network, makes it too expensive to cheat.
Precisely. It ensures that trust-minimized foundation we talked about. You don't need to trust any single miner or group. You trust the economic incentives and the sheer difficulty of attacking the whole system.
And that leads to decentralization.
It does. When you look at the data, like how the mining power hash rate is distributed across different mining pools. Yes, there are large pools, but no single one or small group can easily dominate or censor transactions. It's a very robust distributed system.
So that's the max decentralization people talk about.
In a comparative sense, yeah. It's arguably the most decentralized and battle-tested network out there. That POW, that energy expenditure, is the price paid for that level of security and immutability. It's why it's seen as the ultimate digital store of value. It's run for over 10 years without its core ledger being compromised. That's a powerful track record.
Okay, fascinating. Now let's pivot. Let's look at Ethereum through the same lens. You said it's a different ambition entirely.
Totally different. If Bitcoin is digital gold, focused on being one thing extremely well store of value, then Ethereum is more like a digital operating system.
Like Windows or Mac OS, but decentralized.
Sort of, yeah. But for a whole new internet, it's not just about storing or sending value. It's built for speed, efficiency, and the big one, programmability.
Programmability, smart contracts.
Exactly. That's where all the action is. That's the engine driving so much of the Web3 innovation we see. Finance, art, gaming, supply chains, identity. It's transforming everything.
Because developers can build applications on Ethereum.
Precisely. Complex applications, these smart contracts, that run automatically, without intermediaries. It's not just about moving ETH, it's about creating entirely new systems, new markets, new ways of interacting online.
A dynamic platform constantly evolving.
That's the key. It's designed to be the foundation for a different kind of internet. One where maybe users have more control, own their data, own their assets, permissionless.
And this programmability has led to, well, a whole ecosystem, right?
Oh, absolutely. An explosion of innovation. It's really quite amazing when you look at it. We need to talk about DeFi, decentralized finance.
Right. Rebuilding finance without banks.
Essentially, yeah. Things like lending, borrowing, trading protocols like Aurav, Compound, Uniswap. They all run on Ethereum, governed by code, not by companies.
Huge area. And NFTs.
Non-fungible tokens, unique digital items, art, collectibles, music, even potentially real-world stuff represented digitally. Ethereum was really the platform where NFTs took off, changing ideas about ownership.
Got it. What else?
DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Think of them like internet-native companies or clubs, run by code and member votes. Again, enabled by Ethereum smart contracts.
So new forms of organization?
Yeah, and just tokenization in general. Taking real-world assets or loyalty points or anything really, and representing them as tokens on the blockchain for easier trading or management. The possibilities are vast.
And all of this needs Speed, right. You can't have slow DeFi.
Exactly. Ethereum's focus on higher transactions per second, higher TPS, is absolutely crucial. Imagine trying to trade on a decentralized exchange if you had to wait 10 minutes for every click to confirm.
Wouldn't work. Be unusable.
Right. That speed and throughput are vital for these applications to feel usable, to actually get adopted by millions of people. The ecosystem relies on it.
Yeah.
And then there's the huge shift Ethereum made, the merge, moving from proof of work, like Bitcoin, to proof of stake, POS.
Big deal that was. How does POS work quickly?
So instead of miners racing with computational power, you have validators. These validators lock up or stake a certain amount of ETH as collateral.
Skin in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're chosen to validate transactions based partly on how much they've staked. If they act maliciously, they can lose their staked ETH. It changes the security model significantly.
And the big benefit everyone talks about is energy.
That's a major one. POS uses vastly less energy than POW, like potentially over 99% less. It makes Ethereum much more scalable, cheaper to run, and addresses those environmental concerns head-on.
Lower cost, too, for users.
Generally, yes.
Right.
It allows for higher throughput and potentially lower transaction fees, which, again, is critical for those applications we talked about, DeFi, NFTs, gaming, to be affordable and practical for everyday use.
So that directly hits the fast side of Dorsey's equation, efficiency, scalability.
Absolutely. Where Bitcoin doubles down on security via POW's energy intensity, Ethereum made a strategic pivot towards efficiency, scalability, and sustainability with POS. They're optimizing for different things.
Making it attractive for different reasons.
Precisely. That POS shift makes Ethereum highly competitive for a future that seems to demand faster, cheaper, and maybe greener digital interactions. It's a fundamental difference from Bitcoin's approach.
Okay, so we have these two different philosophies, these different technical paths. But how is this actually playing out? Are institutions, the big players, actually choosing sides?
It's a great question. And we are seeing some really interesting moves. Take Digital, for example.
Yeah, big name in mining.
Historically, yes. Primarily known for their Bitcoin mining operations. But recently, they've been making a noticeable shift, transitioning significant resources away from Bitcoin mining and into Ethereum staking.
Really? That's not a small change.
Not at all. It's a major strategic pivot.
It tells you something, doesn't it?
What does it signal, do you think?
Well, it highlights the appeal of that proof-of-stake model we just discussed. The efficiency, sure, but also the potential for more predictable yields from staking rewards and transaction fees.
Compared to Bitcoin mining, which can be much more variable, right? You've got hardware costs constantly changing, energy prices fluctuating. Staking can look like a more stable revenue stream for an institution.
Makes sense. Less operational overhead, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. And there's also growing regulatory clarity around staking in many places, which gives institutions more comfort. So Digital's move isn't necessarily an isolated case. It reflects a broader trend.
What trend is that?
Institutions looking for ways to participate in the crypto economy that align with maybe more traditional investment models, seeking yield, predictable returns, while still getting exposure to the growth of the Web3 ecosystem.
So it's a vote of confidence in Ethereum's POS model and its ecosystem.
You could definitely interpret it that way. It shows that the fast side, the utility and yield side, has real appeal for serious players making significant capital decisions. Which brings us right back to you, the listener, the investor. This shift really forces you to think about your own approach. You have to align your choices with what you fundamentally believe in, and, frankly, with your tolerance for different kinds of risk.
Okay.
If you are convinced that absolute decentralization, censorship resistance, that digital gold security is paramount, if you see Bitcoin as the ultimate long-term hedge against, well, everything.
Just safe harbor.
Right. Then leaning towards Bitcoin probably feels more natural. It aligns with that core value of safety and immutability.
Okay. Makes sense. And the alternative?
Well, conversely, if you're more focused on utility, on actually using these networks, if you're interested in things like staking yields, participating in DeFi, maybe owning NFTs, seeing where the application development is most active.
Chasing the innovation, the growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're drawn to that dynamic, programmable platform and its potential for exponential growth, then Ethereum likely aligns better with your goals. You're leaning into the fast side, the utility engine.
So there's no single right answer?
Absolutely not. It's deeply personal. It depends on your time horizon, your risk appetite, and fundamentally which vision of the decentralized future resonates more with you. The unshakable foundation or the constantly evolving engine. It's a reflection of your own values.
And it's not just about where investors put their money, is it? This whole safe versus fast thing, it ripples outward.
Oh, hugely. It shapes so much more. Think about developers. Where do they choose to build the next big thing?
Right. Do they build on Bitcoin, maybe using layer 2s like Lightning for speed because they value that base layer security above all?
Or do they go straight to Ethereum, where they have maybe more flexible tools, more programmability out of the box, and that huge existing network effect of users and other apps?
It dictates where the talent goes.
And where the money flows, beyond just individual investors. Venture capital, for instance. You see massive investment pouring into DeFi, NFTs, gaming, all predominantly on Ethereum right now, chasing that growth.
But you also see investment in Bitcoin infrastructure.
For sure. Building out Lightning, developing other scaling solutions. There's significant effort there too, focused on enhancing Bitcoin's usability without touching its core security principles.
And it shapes the whole conversation, doesn't it? The narratives we hear.
Absolutely. Public perception, media coverage, even how regulators think about these things. It all gets influenced by this fundamental split. Is crypto primarily about sound money and safety? Or is it about building a new, faster, more efficient internet? It's a core division that directs the future path.
Okay, let's try and make this even clearer. Maybe we can do like a quick side-by-side, feature-by-feature, just to crystallize the differences.
Good idea, like a mental comparison table.
Exactly. So first up, security. Bitcoin.
Aiming for maximum possible decentralization. Proven resilience through proof of work. Battle-tested immutability, designed to resist even nation-state attacks. Security significantly enhanced with proof of stake. Different model. Growing decentralization. Though some argue maybe validator distribution isn't quite as max decentralized as Bitcoin's mining, but still vastly more than traditional systems.
Okay, next, speed throughput. Bitcoin.
Lower transactions per second, TPS, on the base layer by design. Prioritizes security over speed there. Relies on layer 2s like Lightning for fast, cheap payments.
Ethereum.
Much higher TPS potential, especially with upgrades like sharding planned. Built to handle complex applications and high volume directly, plus its own thriving layer 2 ecosystem.
Got it. How about energy cost? Bitcoin.
Proof of work is energy intensive. That's undeniable. Base layer transaction costs can vary a lot with network demand. That energy is the cost of its security model. Proof of stake uses dramatically less energy, over 99% less, reportedly. Much greener profile. Generally aims for more efficient, predictable transaction costs, crucial for apps.
Huge difference there. Okay, lastly, ecosystem. Bitcoin's focus.
Primarily, almost singularly, focused on being the ultimate store of value. Digital gold. Its ecosystem is mostly financial services built around that core monetary function.
And Ethereum's ecosystem.
It's the sprawling hub. Smart contracts are the core. It powers DeFi, NFTs, DAOs, gaming, identity. It's the engine room for building decentralized applications and this vision of Web3.
Wow. Okay, seeing it laid out like that really highlights the distinct paths they're on, very different priorities.
And the great thing is, we don't just have to talk theory. We can look at real-world data to see how this is playing out.
Like what kind of data?
Well, we can track investor flows.
Yeah?
Look at the money going into Bitcoin ETFs versus Ethereum ETFs, for example.
See where the institutional money is leaning.
Exactly. Or monitor those shifts we talked about, like digital moving into staking. It gives you a sense of market sentiment and strategic allocation, especially looking towards, say, 2025.
Okay, what else? Beyond fund flows.
We can dive into on-chain metrics. That gives you a ground-level view. Compare validator decentralization on Ethereum. How is the stake distributed? How many active validators are there? And compare that against Bitcoin's mining pool distribution. Who controls the hash rate? It shows you the practical reality of network control.
Fascinating. What else on-chain?
Transaction throughput, actual TPS being processed, average fees people are paying, network congestion levels, developer activity, how many people are building on each platform, active addresses, total value locked, TVL in DeFi protocols.
So moving beyond the sales pitch to the actual performance.
Precisely. It gives you tangible evidence. Are these networks delivering on their promises? Which vision is attracting more resources, more activity, more real-world usage? It provides that crucial data-driven context to the whole safe versus fast debate.
You know, sometimes looking back helps us understand the present, this whole tension, safe versus fast. It's not entirely new, is it?
You can see echoes of it throughout financial and tech history.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, think about traditional finance. On one hand, you have the established systems, central banks, regulated currencies. Their whole focus, historically, was stability, reliability, control, predictability.
Safety first. Like the old gold standard idea, tying money to something physical and scarce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Emphasizing stability, sometimes at the expense of flexibility or speed. Then, on the other hand,
You get the disruptors. Fintech.
right, high-speed digital payments, instant transfers, mobile banking apps, high-frequency trading, all focused on agility, speed, convenience, user experience.
Often cutting through the old, slower processes.
Precisely. So society has always faced this kind of choice in different contexts. Did we value the rock-solid stability of the old guard more, or the rapid innovation and efficiency of the new players?
Which is more important at different times.
Yeah, it depends on the context, the needs of the moment. That historical perspective helps frame this Bitcoin versus Ethereum choice. It's a modern version of a very old tension. And that history, combined with Dorsey's framing, leads to some really fundamental questions for you, the listener, to wrestle with.
Okay, lay them on us.
Thinking about the future, mass adoption of crypto. When it really happens, what wins out? Will people ultimately gravitate towards the chain that offers the absolute strongest guarantee of decentralization and security, even if it means using layers for speed? The safe option.
Sure. Oh.
Or will adoption be driven primarily by utility, by the chain that's fastest, cheapest, easiest to build on for everyday apps, even if its decentralization model different, maybe more evolving, the fast option?
What will the majority prioritize? Tough question.
It is. And then bring it closer to home. Think about your own financial legacy, your own digital life.
Okay.
If you had to bet on one platform to build upon for the long haul, Bitcoin or Ethereum, which one feels right for you? Which aligns with your values?
Am I a hedge-first person? Prioritizing that digital gold security.
Or are you more drawn to the yield and innovation side, wanting to participate actively in that rapidly growing, programmable ecosystem?
Safe or fast. For yourself.
Exactly. These aren't just abstract debates. They have real implications for how you engage with this technology and your own future.
Wow. Okay, that was quite the deep dive. We've really unpacked Jack Dorsey's framing, haven't we? I think so.
Seeing Bitcoin versus Ethereum, not just as tech, but as this fundamental choice about values, safety versus speed for the future.
Yeah, the generational perspective is key.
We explored Bitcoin's laser focus on decentralization, security, that digital gold, trust-minimized foundation,
The bedrock.
and then Ethereum's pursuit of innovation, speed, efficiency,
Yeah.
the programmable engine driving DeFi, NFTs, and so much more.
The dynamic platform.
And we saw real-world examples like BitDigital's shift, showing how institutions are navigating this too.
Making strategic bets. Ultimately, like you said, it really does come down to the individual. What do you value most? What future are you betting on? It's about aligning your strategy with your core beliefs in this incredible, evolving space.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
connecting this all together, thinking bigger picture, that choice between safe and fast, it might not be strictly either forever.
What do you mean?
Well, it leads to a final, pretty provocative question, I think. Could the future of Web3 actually need both? Could we see a kind of synthesis emerge,
How?
where maybe the absolute unyielding security of one system, perhaps Bitcoin, acts as the ultimate foundational settlement layer, the ultimate source of truth,
Okay, the bedrock.
while the innovative agility, the programmability, the speed of another system like Ethereum and its ecosystem operates on top or alongside, handling the bulk of daily activity and complex applications?
So security underpinning speed, safety enabling innovation.
Could be. Or will these two giants just continue on their distinct paths, forever representing fundamentally different, maybe even irreconcilable visions for our digital future, each catering to different needs, different values?
Two separate pillars, essentially.
Yeah. Will it be synthesis, or will it be perpetual competition between these two distinct philosophies? It's a massive question, and the answer will shape the next iteration of the internet, no doubt about it. Something for everyone to think about.